Buonasera and good evening everybody, Man with a Plan here. Welcome everybody to the incredible Sea of Thieves on the Xbox One. I am really excited to be here today. We're hanging out with Bad Wolf and the amazing, incredible playbook. We've been hanging out today, doing a little bit of streaming, doing a little bit of recording on the incredible Sea of Thieves, playing the beta, playing the scale test of the beta, and I couldn't be happier to be here. This game I have been so excited about, and I've missed the last few betas, but I am absolutely honored to be playing this beta on the scale test before the game's full release on the 20th of March, I believe. For all you guys who are interested in it, you can pre-order it now. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be checking out some features today, but let's get on into it and have a look what we got going. So here we are in the deep dark night on the Caribbean islands, and we got this guy here, this funky gold hoarder dude with all of his gold and his bling, and he's totally pimped out to the max over here. Hey guys, I found him, he's over here. Now I must apologize to you guys, the actual original audio from this footage has been completely lost. It got corrupted, it was a huge mess, so I'm kind of voicing back over this, and we're going to be doing a bit of a spotlight today, checking out the features of the game, looking a little bit at it, and generally giving you guys a look at what it looks like, what it plays like, what it generally feels like to be a pirate in the Sea of Thieves. And I am really impressed with it. We had so much fun playing on this. So we got these gold hoarder guys. These were the only dudes who were available in the beta, but there are going to be other people who you can get quests from. As you see there's some stuff you can unlock once you get high enough ranks, and these guys are going to give us some voyages where we can get a swag plundered by the lowly Grandee Preston is one of the first ones that we can get our hands on. Are you sure you want to buy this? He's counting our coins. It shouldn't take too long because we don't have any. You can see in the top right there. There we go, we've done it. Amazing times. So what you generally do is you're going to be visiting people, getting yourself some quests, and then you're going to be heading to your amazing ship, and you're going to be going out on adventures, seeking down some treasure, and hopefully not getting blown out the water or sinking it, which happens a few times here. But this is our incredible little boat here. He's absolutely beautiful. Between the three of us, we went for a small crew on the large ship, and just because I wanted to play with the big ship. It's a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. Really good fun. I must say, hands down, the Sea of Thieves is some of the most entertaining and most fun, generally, just absolutely incredible multiplayer games that I have ever had the pleasure of playing. The way that they've structured this is incredible. So we got a little map table down here. This is going to kind of be our cartographer's cabin, and we can kind of move it all around. We can zoom in and out. We can check out where our boat is in relation to all the islands. And we're going to be using this to identify where we've got to go once we find ourselves some quests. Now, we got one, and we've got to head up here and into the captain's quarters, into the Captain Man's room. And this is where we propose voyages. And everybody can potentially pick up a different voyage, and people who are further in the game, who have played longer, will get different voyages, and everybody can vote on them. And we've all agreed to do this one because it's the only one that we've got, the Bad Wolf, the playbook, and main when playing. And we're all going to go on this amazing adventure together. So once we've done that and we've all agreed upon where we're going, we're going to get some maps. And these guys appear in our inventory. I can't remember the control buttons as I'm watching back over this recording right now. I believe it was either the left bumper or the right bumper which open up these. One opens up your inventory with all your tools and your things, and the other one opens up all of the things where you find your maps. But once you've got your maps, you head back down here, and you've got to locate the isle of where you need to go. So here's the one that we've got, and we select it and open it up. And with the left trigger, I believe it is, no sorry, the right trigger, we'll open it up and we can have a look at it, and then with the left we can turn it around and show people. Which is amazing. Hey dude, look at this. Look at this, man, it's amazing. Is that the island? Yeah, I think that's the island. Really great mechanic, really good. And we're going to use this map table to try and locate the island on the map, and then be able to set sail and find ourselves a course for heading off in this direction. So here I'm actually trying out, I'm thinking that the playbook can actually see what I'm showing him, but obviously he can't because he's had to kind of look at it himself. It doesn't really work quite that way. He's kind of focused on the map, and I can just watch him as he zooms and pans the map to try and keep an eye out for it as well, which is really good. It's like you can all get together around it and try and locate the one that you're looking for. It takes us a bit of time to get this, but we get it. Yeah, we get it, we got it, we found it. So once we've got that, we now have ourselves a course. The amazing day has set, and the game is beautiful, it's really good. So we've got to raise our anchor first off. So we can all help with this, make it go a little bit faster. And the teamwork is absolutely great. The way that they put teamwork together on this game is genius, although I'm just kind of standing watching them do it at the moment. Oh, there we go, I get into it a little bit. Anchor raised, that's all taken care of, we're ready to go. I'm going to start loading some cannons at some point. I believe there's another thing that I get into. But it's just the way that the game is laid out is fantastic. What generally the premise is that the ship is too big and there's too many things for one person to do. You just can't sail alone, it can't be a thing. So what we need to have is one person on the helm steering the ship, another person needs to be controlling the sails and making sure you're catching the wind, which I'm just getting to here. You can let the sails down to actually start catching some wind, but the real money maker is by changing the angle of the sail. You can see the white lines there moving through the sky, and you need to adjust the angle of the sail to actually be able to catch it and fully billow up the wind in the sails, and that really increases the speed. So as the captain actually, or the person on the helm should I say, steers the ship, you lose the wind, so another person has to adjust the sails to be able to catch the wind, and once it billows up, you kind of get a lot more speed and a lot more effectiveness out of it. So it's a really, really good thing. And of course, the person who is steering the ship will not be able to see. Bad Wolf is on the helm at the moment. She will not be able to see that giant rock in front of us. So we need to kind of keep an eye out for anything that could potentially cause a hazard to us and make sure that we're not going to crash into anything because the person who's steering just can't see anything. So it's really, really good for its teamwork. Everybody's got to work together, and just some of the best multiplayer I've ever had because of how much everybody has to communicate. You have to work together. It's really, really good game to bring in some friends into. If you have a group of say 3 or 4 friends, you can go for the large ship. If you only have yourself or somebody else, you can take a smaller one, which I sadly didn't get much of a chance to actually play with while the beta was active, as I only caught it on the Saturday and it closed Sunday morning. So I only got one night to play, one chance at recording it, and sadly the audio was corrupted, so I know the guys are super bummed about it too. But fear not everybody, I have completely fallen in love with this game with the little bit I have played. I have got the pre-order, and on the 20th of March this will be coming to the channel. I can absolutely guarantee it. I think I'm even going to allocate a couple of stream days to it as well, so that I can stream live with these guys and some of the other patrons. I think try and get the patrons together and maybe get a fleet of patrons, all of us ready to sail the high seas and destroy everything. So we've got a load of other things here. We've got ourselves a plank, we've got a spyglass too, so we can kind of have a little bit of a closer look on the horizon. That rock is starting to get awfully close. The water texture as well is just mind-blowing. Absolutely beautiful the way that they have made water. I love the kind of animated genre kind of esque that they've done with the graphics. It almost reminds me of The Long Dark in a way, but also not quite at the same time. So they've really, really done incredibly well with it. I am massively looking forward to it. Again, as I mentioned, the game is out on pre-order. You can get it early. I wanted to release some content about this game because I love it so much, and I'm so excited for it. And maybe you guys have been really interested in it too. You've probably seen quite a bit of footage of other people playing the previous betas, but this one is the scale test, is the closest one before the release, so it'll give you the most accurate look of how the game actually runs and how smooth it goes. Look on the end there, just playing his music while we're heading really close and very quickly towards that rock. That's partially my fault, as I had just set the sails to catch the most amount of wind. So I feel like none of us are actually talking to Bad Wolf right now and telling her. Yeah, here we go. Here's me ringing in the sails, trying to. Oh dear. Oh dear, bad times. Oh, drop the anchor! Drop the anchor! No, it's too late. Bam! Oh, super bad time. So of course, if you do crash, your ship is not completely bulletproof. In fact, it is very vulnerable. And as you can see here, we're already starting to flood. This is what the planks are for. You've got to head over to the holes, hit the right trigger and hold it down, and you'll nail on a piece of wood to wonderfully, expert craftsmanshiply fix the hole in the bow. And then we got our bucket, which we can use to start bailing out the water that's inside the ship. Everybody's panicking right now. Oh god, no, what is happening? It's a huge disaster. And just throw the water off so that you won't sink. Now if the water does raise too high, of course the ship will be lost, and it's all over. Yep, there's a bad wolf admiring my handiwork there. You can call this fixed? Really? Is that, yeah, it's as good as new, man. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That's like perfect. It's like brand new. What else could you want? It's like a whole new ship now. It's absolutely perfect. The boat is also incredibly clever how it has turned itself around. Knowing that we would have been completely stuck against that rock for a long time, somehow, while we've been below deck, the game has flipped the boat around, and none of us noticed until we came back out. So that's a really, really good effect. And we never noticed it. There was no kind of lag, no kind of glitch, no kind of jump or anything. We literally came back to the surface, to the deck of the ship, and it had been turned around, which is really, really genius. Super, super good. So I'm going to try and just kind of explain what we're doing and have a chat about all the different features as we come across them in this little bit of recording. There was a few things that I didn't get to do, like throw myself in a cannon and fire myself out into the ocean or into an island. But there is loads and loads of great things in this, which I really can't wait to get into when we finally hit full launch. And yeah, as I say, it's definitely going to be a thing. It's going to be here. I'm definitely going to be getting it, and it's going to be on the channel. I will find some point to be able to set it in as a regular upload, I'm sure. So we're trying to catch ourselves some more wind here, and there we go. Whoosh, away it goes. Get that anchor raised, and we can set sail away from said rock and continue on our adventure, hopefully, to find some treasure without sinking our boat. But it's such a good teamwork game. Such a good teamwork game. I would be interested in seeing how it would work by joining a game when you don't have anybody to play with. I do know that there is a whole batch of communication controls if you don't have a mic, but I would highly recommend having a microphone when you come to play this. And even if you don't have anybody on your friends list who has the game, I imagine if you have your mic and you jump into a couple of random games, you'll get to know some people and start doing some adventures together. And yeah, it will really work out very, very well in our favour, I'm sure. There are some other fantastic little tips and tricks, such as this gold handle that's in front of me right now. That golden handle, compared to the others being plain wood, actually marks the center point of the wheel. So that if we've got this right in front of us, then the ship's going to be sailing straight. Now obviously I've turned the wheel all the way around, so when you need to return it back to go straight again, as you turn it back the other way, it makes a thump and a click and a slight vibration through the controller to let you know that the rudder is now straight, and the boat will sail straight if you maintain it as it is. However, you can't just step away from the wheel either. Because of the way that the wind works, it will drift the ship and change the direction that you're heading, so you do need somebody on the helm all times to maintain your course, which is fantastic little tricks too. So here we go, we're going to roll our way back round. I believe I'm going to head it to go straight. I think it's 2 full turns. Or have I oversteered? I've most likely oversteered again. Yeah, there it is. That little click thump, click click thump. It's really, really good little effect. I absolutely love that. And there's loads of other little things in this, such as using the compass when you're trying to locate something by paces. If you hold down the trigger to bring it up, you can hear your feet on the ground and the head bopping animation and a slight vibration in the controller to be able to find it. Again, we never really got very far in the game to be able to try these things out, but oh, it's so fun. I am massively upset that the audio files were corrupted from this recording, because we had so much fun, the three of us. Just absolutely hilarious, the three of us playing. So I really, really hope that the Bad Wolf and the Playbook are going to be joining me again on our next adventures once we hit full launch. I'm fairly sure they are. I know that they're very much looking forward to this as much as I am, so it should definitely be an amazing thing. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to be a little bit quiet here and let you guys soak up the sound and the feel of the game for a moment until we arrive at our destination, which actually I believe we are now. I've requested the Bad Wolf to raise the mainsail just a little bit, or I may have actually asked her to raise it the whole way, as we are approaching the island which we wish to be, and by raising the mainsail I can see a little bit more, but we still have the aft sail, and we can still kind of get some motion. We've got some cannon fire coming from this island, so there's some NCP, yeah, NPC skeletons most likely who are on this island and who are firing at us. It's going to be a super bad time if they manage to make a few hits on us below the waterline. Return fire! Return fire, ye scallywags! And again, we really are not very good aiming at the moment, as this is the first time we turned in the game, so it's going to take a little bit of practice for us to be able to get a feel of how this all works. Well, one thing that I needed to get the hang of was actually steering. After a bit of play, I started to get a little bit into the feel of steering the ship. Bad Wolf kind of really enjoyed doing the sails and taking care of the cannon and keeping an eye, and playing music and drinking, which is an amazing thing to do as well. Drinking grog is excellent. And the playbook really enjoyed taking care of the cartography and checking out where we needed to be, keeping track of the ship's location and our course. So again, it doesn't take long before you all kind of settle into your own little roles and get a feel of where you want to go, what you want to do, how you're going to do it. And we tried to mix it up as much as we could, so everybody got to try doing different stuff all the time, which was amazing times. So here we are. We parked very, very far offshore from the island because we're not very good at this quite yet. Facing into the wind, which is going to be a little bit of an issue for us trying to get back out. I think we kind of got the anchor back up, and we're going to move ourselves just that little bit closer, ready for our first exploration in finding our very first treasure. It was absolutely amazing times, so much fun. And I love the animation, I love the art style, I really, really enjoy it, and the way the game feels is just fantastic as well. I absolutely love it. I've got to say, actually, I've been bigging this game up so much, I just want to remind you guys, this video is not sponsored. I am not sponsoring this. I'm not being paid to say anything about this game. It's just really good. It really, really is. My little channel is far too small in the times to be able to get things like sponsorship and such like that. I haven't been noticed that much, so it's really not something that's going to be a thing for me. However, I do really enjoy bringing games that I massively enjoy to you people, who I hope will also enjoy. And if you have been curious about it, and you wanted to see a good amount of gameplay, and hear somebody kind of talk about how they describe it, hey, it's Nemo, I found some Nemo fish, then this would be right up your alley. It'll give you a little bit more of a feeling for it. If you're watching this and going, it doesn't really look like my kind of thing, then boom, there you go. You've just saved yourself like £50-60 in a pre-order or a game download that you would have bought and not enjoyed. I would highly recommend it myself. It's right up my street. So here we are, we're on the island that we actually want at the moment, and we can have a look at the map, and there's a tiny little red X just at the bottom around in the 5D section of the map just there, and that's what we're looking for. These are the first little missions. They do become much more complicated and much more quest endured. You'll have to go to several islands, you'll have to complete different tasks to get your hands on different loot, and of course we have the worry that there is also other ships out in the ocean. Check out this shark with all of his spears in him. He's super peeved. He is not a happy sharky. They're definitely a thing, and they will eat us if we find ourselves in the water for too long. That's definitely going to prove to be a problem for us. But now we're here, we have to focus on the task at hand. I keep going to show somebody the map because I'm not too good with the controls yet, and we just need to try and locate where this one is, just by using the scenery around us, by the landmarks that we can find. A couple of skeletons might appear every now and again. Find ourselves some cannonballs and some bananas. Beautiful. And the bananas are essentially our health pack in the world. And yeah, we just need to try and locate this one. You can kind of see from where we are, if we just kind of have a scope around the island and look at the lay of the land, there is a patch of rocks over here. There is another patch of rocks just ahead of us. I would feel like it would be in this big open patch, but sadly, no luck. It is not there. So we need to continue to search around and try and locate it. It takes me a little bit of time to figure this out, it really does. We were tempted to just start digging randomly until we managed to find it. And there's still nothing there. Let's check it again. No, don't show it to the floor. So yeah, we've got that patch of rocks. It does seem to be on the grasslands. There's definitely that load of rocks in the sea just ahead of us there, so that's correct. So it really should be on this grassy knoll. Yeah, little inlet bay just in front of us there as well. It really should be here on the grassy knoll somewhere, kind of set between the rocks. So you'd think it would be here, but I believe it's around about here. Haha! We've done it. We've done it. We found treasure. Our very first treasure in the Sea of Thieves world has just become uncovered. Now again, I can dig this and it'll take a bit of time, one shovel at a time, but we can all get round it and all start shoveling at it to create some more voyage complete. We found ourselves some booty. We got all the booty. A castaway's chest. Absolutely amazing. Playbook's got it. And we're ready to go. Let's go. Let's go. And now the enduring adventure of trying to return safe with our load of treasure. Some skeletons are going to try and kick our butts because they want their treasure back. I don't know what skeletons need to buy. Apparently being a skeleton is a fairly expensive life. I'm not sure what you would require as a skeleton that needs to be paid for. Doesn't seem to be any sharkies around. No skeletons in the water or skeleton sharks, which is also good. So we go ahead and we're going to get ourselves back onto our ship and we're going to try and make our way to get back to where we had originally left. Not super far away. Even at night time, it's very, very nice. Very, very nice. So I do apologize if this video will be very dark for you guys at the dark points, but I'm not going to do any adjustments to this one. I have increased the brightness and the saturation as I normally do for my videos because it's always a little bit dark and a little bit lack of color after recording on the Xbox One DVR. So it needs just a little bit to brighten it up. But I'm not going to be doing any gamma changes, so you can see exactly where we hit that rock. You can see exactly where we hit that rock and had to about face and loop back around. But yep, we're going to make our way. Peace out, little island. See you later. And we're going to be returning back. And I'm sailing. Use wheel. It's a helm. I'm sure it's a helm, isn't it? I really feel like helm is the correct term for the steering wheel of a ship, not wheel. And there's an interesting little point as well. You can kind of see the map table from up here. So if you are a little bit short-handed and you need to check your course, you can almost figure out roughly where you are by looking back at the table down there. That's an interesting little effect as well. I do know that the smaller ship has a very, very different layout to be able to make it a little bit more manageable for one or two people. It only has 2 cannons, one on either side, the one sail, but all of the ropes, pulleys and controls for the sail are all around the helm, the same as the anchor is just behind you, if I'm correct. Bye-bye, little island. See you later. Our first treasure. Our first treasure. We got all the booty. Not a bad haul. Not a bad haul at all. Absolutely stunning. The aurora in the sky too. Sound of the sea. Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. So we're just literally turning the ship around, using the low sail at the bow to be able to just slowly get us pointing in the right direction. Then we can open up mainsails, catch the wind, and get underway and get ourselves heading back towards where we need to be, avoiding the Rock of Death. It's super, super bad rock. But again, for you guys, I'm not going to make any cuts. I do apologize if I'm rambling on. It feels very, very unnatural to me voicing over an episode. It doesn't feel right. It really, really doesn't. But sadly, as I said, with the audio corrupted, and I wanted to release something about this game. I enjoyed it so, so much in the little bit of time I had to play it. So I definitely wanted to kind of showcase it to you guys. There be the Rock of Doom. There be the Rock of Doom. Let's make sure we steer away from that. We don't want to be going in front of the Rock of Doom ever, ever again. That was a super hard time. It's such a big rock as well. How do we miss it? We're such noobs in the Sea of Thieves. We were such noobs in the Sea of Thieves. But we do have a good feel for it now. Oh, super amazing. I do feel like the sun is starting to arise. It's starting to get a little bit lighter. Ah, I can just see all those lights in the distance there. I'm pretty sure that that's where we're trying to head. back to that gold hoarder dude to return this chest of booty and get ourselves some coins for our hard-earned travels and our to reimburse us for the cost of planks used to repair the ship after crashing it into a rock. Now, one thing that did come up in the scale test actually is that there wasn't really as many other ship encounters as the developers would have liked, which I'm not sure how I feel about. I kind of enjoyed the peaceful seas, in my opinion. While we were on stream after making this recording, we did have a couple of run-ins with some other enemy players, and we did not fare very well. We got annihilated. We got annihilated like 3-4 times. Every time we were in a fight, we got sunk. I have yet to sink a ship in Sea of Thieves, but I feel like on full game release, we will actually get ourselves into business with that. We just need a little bit more practice with it. Lagoon of Whisperers. Ooh. Very interesting. Now, one other thing I'd like to point as well is you saw that little kind of cinematic effect come across the screen. The logos were all blue, the music was quite interesting. When we had finished this recording, we went back to stream in the full game. We spawned in a different area where the markings were red and everything was very, very dark, very evil looking. Ooh, treasure! Ooh, treasure! Drop the anchor! So yeah, every now and again you'll be sailing around and you might find yourself some flotsam and jetsam floating around in the water. And yeah, you can head in there and you can get things from it. You might be able to find yourself some more cannonballs, maybe some planks, maybe some bananas. I'm not sure if you'll get ammunition, and I believe you can also get sunken ships, which you'll be able to do as well. It took me a fair while. I apologise for my slow swimming, as it took me a fair amount of time to figure out that you can sprint when you're in the water to swim faster. For some reason I didn't kind of put that together, so I'm a very, very slow swimmer throughout the gist of this recording. But yeah, it was super interesting. I think we got cannonballs and some bananas and some planks and some of those things from these barrels before we headed back and returned to ship. Yeah, lovely. Some cannonballs, and then a load of planks, and then some bananas. Oh, no more planks. Any bananas? Now, you can only carry a maximum amount in your inventory on its own, but of course there are also sharks out here, so jumping in the water for the point of getting some planks and some cannonballs and some bananas is probably not the wisest idea. However, keeping your ship stocked with cannonballs and planks and bananas is a good idea. You can carry 5 banana, 10 cannonball and 10 plank, I believe, and you're going to kind of want to have to keep them stocked all the time. Lo and God forbid if you got yourself into a ship fight and you didn't have any cannonballs, or you had ran out of planks from crashing into objects and couldn't repair your ship. It would be a really, really bad time and it would all be over for us. Aha! This is where we had discovered the amazing little area in the bow of the ship in the lower deck. This way, over here, we've got a little bit of a vanity chest with a load of different clothings and stuff that we can play with. This is also where we head to be able to change our weaponry and equipment, which it took us a while to figure this out as well, but I'm assuming once you purchase different outfits and clothing gear, you'll be able to assign them and wear them and change your appearance here. There are also some other things which I'll hope that we'll get into at some point. There's a nice little jacket thing there. Yeah, super interesting. It is really quite interesting times, and again, just by applying it and equipping it and unequipping it there, we can see a little figurine change, which is super nice. And this one is more of an accessories thing. We can give ourselves beard and hairstyles and different pieces of jewellery and equipment to make ourselves look amazing. My dude already had an eye patch, so didn't have to worry about that. But I think the Bad Wolf gave himself like a hook hand. No, sorry, Playbook gave himself a hook hand. You can see there, Bad Wolf gave herself a peg leg. And then of course we've got all of our equipments. and all of the things that we can actually carry and equip and use with us. We've got one of each of those. This is an ammunition chest where we can refill our bullets, but this is the armory where we can change the weapons in the game. And another fantastic effect that I really, really like is the weapons for somebody who has played the game for 1,000 hours are the same as the weapons that you will be able to play newly starting. There is no leveling up tree, there is no skill boosting, there is nothing like that that will differentiate experienced players from inexperienced players, except from the experience which they have gained from playing the game itself. Literally their knowledge of it, the way that they like to play and how they're going to do it, and the techniques and tactics that they may have mustered is all that they will actually have. So we can store all of our bananas and things so that we can refill our storages, which is super good as well. We can max out everything, and I feel like we should be a little bit closer. Whoa, ship! Ship! There's a ship there. This is one of the smaller ships. Yeah, that's one of the smaller ships for a 1 or 2 man crew. Now this guy we thought at first was just kind of saying hello as he sailed by. They're like jumping up and down, going, hey, how's it going? So we were like, oh, okay, that's fair enough. They're friendly. They're off on an adventure. That's super interesting. But I get my blunderbuss out just to be super safe. However, as we were maintaining our course on the way back, we noticed that they started to turn, and that they were lining up alongside us. So I told everybody to man the starboard side cannons, just in case this tiny little ship was foolish enough to fire upon us. And then we didn't like it, so we set off a warning shot at some point, I believe. But no, that was it. I wanted to check to see if they were actually arming their cannons. Let's have a look here. Because of course we can see them on the deck, so if they're stood at the cannons, we know it's going to be a bad time. He's lining up to kind of ram into us, which is a super bad effect as well, so yeah, this guy's getting a little bit too close for comfort, so I say we get rid of him. Get it! Boom! The guy came up the deck. He's jumping up and down and waving, but nope, go away. Not welcome. And he quickly turns tail and run. Very, very wisely turns tail and runs. That was the first time ever firing, so we got a couple of hits on. Not enough to actually sink the guy. I do believe you need to try and hit below the waterline on the enemy ship to be able to do the most amount of damage. But it was enough to give him a good scare and get him to keep our distance, so hopefully he's gonna go away and leave us be for the time being. If he does start to turn and follow us, then obviously it's gonna be a super different case, completely. And we've done it. Golden Sands Outpost. This is us returning to where we had started to lure in our loot and return our booty. And so far everything's gone fairly well. We had a little bit of an encounter, but nothing too dangerous at all. Just kind of, yeah, just kind of got them to keep our distance. Let's have a look here. Let's see if we can bring ourselves into dock a little bit closer than we were the first time, so that we don't have to swim as much. It's amazing the things you learn watching it back. I'm moving way too fast, and I should have got my main sail pulled in by now. I really love the music. Really, really love the music. There we are, pulling in mainsail. So we can kind of cruise our way back into port. Sell our chest of booty. Oh, why'd you stop playing? Playing the instruments is fantastic fun as well. And of course drinking. Drinking is great fun too. You do get drunk. It's a really hard time controlling your character. I believe if you drink enough you can start throwing up, and then you can throw up on people, and it's a super huge mess and it's terrible. But let's do it. Playbook's got the loot. Let's go. To return our very first booty. Our very first bounty in the world of the Sea of Thieves. Super amazing times. Uh-oh. No, what are you doing? Oh God, no! Just as we've returned to port. Oh dear lord. Right now I am shouting at the guys to go and sell the chest while I get on board and try to fend off the attackers who are wanting to sink our ship. Oh my dear lord. This doesn't look good. I have the blunderbuss. What would be handy is the rifle roundabout now. We sold the chest. We got our money. Get off. Get. There's no money here. We literally just got into port. What's wrong with you? I got one. And I'm dead. But I made a kill. My very first kill in the Sea of Thieves. Followed quickly by my first death. Which lands us on the Ferry of the Damned. This is kind of used as a respawn timer. You kind of get stuck on the Ferry of the Damned for a while until you can respawn back into the world of the Land of the Living. And I love this effect. Absolutely awesome. Really, really good idea. We've got this super, super crazy ghost captain piloting the ship here. Really cool. That sound there means that the door has been cracked open and I can return to the Land of the Living. Yeah, the respawn times take a little bit to load us back into the server that we were playing on. Again, I've made absolutely no cuts throughout this video recording for you guys so that you can get an accurate feel of how it feels right now. Maybe there'll be another beta, but I don't believe there will be now that it's, well, it's less than a month until full release in all honesty, so I don't think there'll be another one now. Although if there is, I'm straight on it. Oh, bad times. I have respawned in a fish tank. That horrible creaking means that the ship is going down. So if the water level manages to get all the way up to the top deck, of course, the ship goes under. And we were instantly killed. Although not really we were killed, we were more despawned by the ship itself despawning too. When that happens, it kind of takes us out and respawns us back into the world. Ah, that's still over there. Freaking douchebags, man. No, the ship. Oh, he's taking out the little green dude sails as well. We never even saw him. He came out of nowhere. Oh, our ship's gone. Our ship is gone. But there's a ship right here, you know. There is indeed a ship right here. Quite nice. I like the golden lion on the crest. Not as good as our black shark one. Our black ship with the shark and the tooth marks across it and all of that. That was beautiful. I really, really like that ship. I do know as well that ship customization will become something as well. We did find a kind of little shipyard kind of place, but it couldn't be interacted with. But it did say that something was coming soon. Hey there, buddy. Boom. All over for you. This is our boat now. I'm taking the captain's quarters. You got any treasure? I doubt you will have, because you've been stealing everybody else's. Get him! Get him, shoot him in the face! Let's see what else you got hanging around on here, huh? You got anything stashed down the bottom? You've been putting your treasure right down low, below decks? You got anything in your barrels? Can I steal your bananas? I feel like I could probably steal your bananas. No? Anything? What would be good if you could take, what would it be? Take the quests, the missions, like the journey contracts, that you could take those and go on them yourself. That would be excellent. Yeah, it's all over for you, buddy. Peace out. The blunderbuss is very, very good. Shotgun all the way. We absolutely love it. Oh, there we go. That's the end of us again. Still though, a good couple of kills, not bad for the first time. Not bad for the first time at all. We didn't have much luck throughout the entirety of playing this game. Very, very sad. But we did manage at least to sell a chest, which is great. Playbook's there scratching his butt. Absolutely awesome. I love the ideas behind it. I absolutely love the ideas behind it. I can't wait to see. I love those cannons. I want those cannons. I hope that's a customizable option at some point too. Very long respawn time here. Very, very long. I'm actually going to cut that piece out. There we go. Ah, so I spawned in the ocean. That little mermaid dude is going to take me back to my ship. as our ship has been sunk. So if your ship does get sunk in the middle of the ocean, one of these little mermaid people will appear nearby you, mermaid or merman, and interact with them, and you can get yourself brought back to the ship. Amazing times. It was a good adventure. We lost the ship, but we kept the booty. We managed to keep the booty even though we lost the ship. So thank you guys very, very much for coming to hang out with me, the Playbook, and the Bad Wolf today in our first little kind of adventure around on Sea of Thieves. I do apologise for the audio being lost, but sadly there was nothing we could do about it. But I do also really hope that you've enjoyed this little look at the world of Sea of Thieves. I really, really cannot wait to play this game. If you guys can't either, do me a massive favour and hit that like button. And if you're looking forward to more, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss on any episodes coming to the channel in the next few days. I greatly love you all, and good luck on your adventures. All the best, take care. Bye bye.